Kia ora, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Untidy. For some reason, it feels like ages.
I was thinking the same thing. And I wonder if it's just because we've had quite a chaotic start.
Yeah, maybe. And we had to reschedule. I don't know why. Anyway, here we are. So nice.
So nice. Even though Mercury's doing some shit, it's still...
well, we can't be sure, but I'm like, so many things have gone awry that I'm like, is Mercury in the microwave again? Who knows what's going on?
Something's happening. Something is happening. Anyway, how are you?
I've been a bit overwhelmed. Just like that old familiar flavour of overwhelm. And, well, actually, I know I just said to you, well, why don't we start with this and then we'll do that? And now that whole plan that I just suggested, I'm changing.
Classic.
But it's relevant to how am I, Matty? So let me just talk you through what happened yesterday morning. Okay. Yesterday morning, I started off by telling Pilates partner, I was like, oh, big day on the tools today, big day on the tools. I'm like, first I'm going to take the dog for a walk. So we've got a regular client, the Labradoodle, and so I thought I'll take her for a walk. Took her out for a run out by these like lakes where there's a bit of a drive to get there. Took her out. I thought, I'll really exercise myself, really exercise the dog. And
Lovely.
Then I can just get stuck into the day, you know? Off with a hiss and a roar. Anyway, I get out there. We do those things, but on the way back, she's got this obsession with birds. Like, she's really, really good until she sees a bird. And at the moment, the swallows are flying really low to the ground.
Well, I was going to say that's inconvenient because there are a lot of birds around all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes she can resist it, but sometimes she just can't help herself.
Right.
Anyway, this last part of the walk is this large open sort of field area before you get back to the car park. It's all very safe, so the safety wasn't a concern. But Lottie took off after these swallows and completely, she just loses her mind and the ears switch off. And she's like, when they're like yipping because they're just beside themselves with excitement. And this is a very large area and there's lots of swallows and they're going round and round and round and round. And I'm calling her and she's deliberately not listening.
Naughty.
I'm naughty. She's naughty. I'm getting all mad. Anyway, I eventually get the dog back. She knows she's been naughty. She walks at heel. She's like, nothing. Sorry.
I just couldn't.
I couldn't help myself. I couldn't. And then I was like, get back to the car. Running late for the recording we were supposed to be having yesterday. I get back to the car and then I press the button to get her into the boot. No response from the car. And I was like, uh-oh. Feel my pocket. Car key. Gone.
No.
It's gone. And I'm like, oh no. Like, there's no way I can backtrack the entire journey to find the car key. I'm like, I did go to the toilet first before we started running because that's what you need to do sometimes.
Of course.
Before there's too much downward pressure. Anyway, so I was like, I'll just go there. If it's not there, I'm just going to have to go home and get the spare and figure out what my next move is.
Yeah.
I go there, no car key. And then, so that's when I sent a voice message to you, quite exasperated and out of breath.
There was sort of wind in the background and you were a bit sort of huffing and puffing and I could just tell it was a high stress environment.
Yes. And then we realised that I had it in my calendar for the recording. You didn't have it in your calendar. So
I wasn't even there.
You wasn't even going to turn up. So
I was on the way to Monster Fun in Snell's Beach with the kids.
Going to Monster Fun. Not a place to record, I would say, having visited there with Flickr. Not a place. No. So then it was, and then I had a meeting to get back to. I was like, okay, well, I'm only 5.5 k's from home. I can actually just run and walk back as quick as I can. I can be there at a reasonable time. I'll get the spare car key.
It'll take you 40 minutes. That'll be fine.
I'll figure out what I'm doing. So I got some really good exercise.
That was
the upside that you're like, well, then there's an accidental adventure that you get some really good exercise. So I get back, throw myself through the shower, and then I get to I was in the kitchen. I was making myself a hot drink. I'm putting some ashwagandha in my in a hot drink at the moment because I'm off the coffees for a wee bit.
But she's on the ashwagandhas.
But I'm on the ashwagandha because it's supposed to bring down the cortisol, Matty.
Oh, the ashwagandha would have had a big job yesterday.
Hell of a job. Hell of a job. And it was really doing some heavy lifting. But as I was faffing around with that, I managed to drop it. Goes everywhere. Powder goes everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God. I just was like, oh, Frankie was in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my God, Frankie, is today just the day where everything goes wrong? You know, I was on one like that.
Yeah.
And I'm holding my phone in my left hand. As I say that, the phone rings. And it's an unknown number. I almost just hung up on it, but I thought, no, I'll answer this. Hello? Not even saying my name.
Who is it? Say your name.
What do you want? And anyway, it was the police. And she said, strange question. I said, has someone found my car key? Because I just lost it when I was running. She's like, yes. A man has picked up your car key. He went to the car parks. There's 2 car parks in this place, pressing the button to find which car it opened. And then he had the registration number. And then he took it to a nearby hotel and dropped it at reception. And she goes, you can go and pick it up from reception.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me, but really good in a crisis, this guy.
Wow.
What a thinker. What a thinker. Just all of the moving parts. I'll go and check what car it is. Then we've got the registration. I can let the cops know, who will then be able to call the person. They'll probably come back. I'll leave it in a safe place, the local hotel. Oh my gosh.
What a good Samaritan.
What a good man. Did you find out who it was?
No.
Or his name or anything?
I was gutted because I was like, oh, well, I guess an Uber ride to that hotel was a hell of a lot cheaper than replacing a car key. And I went along. I was hoping he was staying there so I could drop off a little card and some chocky and say thank you, because he went to so much effort to return it to me, and I just appreciated that so much. And I'm like, what an absolute lifesaver.
Legend. What a legend.
Yeah. Aww. And so there you go. Just when you think it's all going tits up, you just get reminded there's good people in the world, and the day can turn around.
Things aren't so bad. Things aren't so bad.
Hey, I got some good exercise.
Exactly. You got an extra 5K in there that you weren't expecting. Fantastic. So, and the dog got a bloody good exercise. So the dog probably slept the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was good.
Fantastic.
Good. So anyway,
we came out on top.
Yeah, I'm busy. It's school holidays. Poor old Alex is out there weeding the garden because I'm like, listen, if I'm going to make money, you're going to make money. I said, I don't mind paying you. And then I did say to him, I was like, listen, I'm going to pay you by the job, not the hour.
Fair.
Because let me tell you, the work rate, quite steady.
Yeah. Fair. Good for him. Oh, he's out there weeding. Oh God, how good that you get to the age where you can put them to work.
Yeah. I'm like, no. I needn't blow myself to bits doing everything. I'm like, there is a person here capable with 2 functional hands doing some of these things.
Yeah. And very efficiently, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
If it's Alex
not.
we're talking about.
Because he doesn't want to do it.
Oh, yeah, right. So he's faffing.
Yeah. And I'm like, I reckon you could have this finished up in under 9. He's like, I just don't know how you could. Don't know how that's possible.
I don't want to do it, so I'm going to take a really long time.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're making it worse for yourself, but that's not my problem. Anyway, Matty, that's how I am. How are you?
Great, really good. I'm filling in on the hits this week, which is really fun.
That's nice.
So it's just a little 4-day special, which is
Lovely.
really nice. I know. So
in the mornings or in the afternoons? Yeah.
Afternoon for PJ again, who took the week off. So that's really nice. It's been really fun.
Lovely. Oh,
really
that's nice
fun.
to go back and see Matty again.
Yeah. It's been really cool and quite good timing during school holidays because then me and the kids can have just a crazy old morning. And then I'm like, bye-bye. Yeah. So it's good. But I actually, school holidays get a lot of shit. I love school holidays. I really do love them because we get to just get up in the morning. I get ready. The kids are pottering. They're doing their thing. No one's overly stressed.
That's nice.
It's
nice
really
having
nice.
A break from the school runs.
It's really nice. I'm really enjoying it. And then we can just do, we just do other stuff. Aren't I lucky? We can kind of, usually fumble through. tag team a little bit, and we have the odd day when we're all together, and it's just really nice.
That's
I love school
nice.
holidays. It's
That's
good.
nice.
Yeah, apart from Milo really thrives off a plan for the day. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so he gets a bit sort of like, what are we doing? What's the plan? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, what do you want to do? And he's like, like I can tell he just really, really wants to know the timeline of events that we've already
Or you could be like,
got
well,
laid out.
you're going to start wetting the garden at 8 a.m. and you can finish up by 6 p.m. and I'll give you some lunch.
When you need a break, I'll make you a little fluffy eater sandwich. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
You know how, because obviously we've just had Easter.
mm.
And you know how like there's always chat amongst the millennials about how massive the Easter eggs were in our day. And then we're never quite sure if it's just because we were small so they seem bigger.
No, they've gotten smaller.
Matty,
They've gotten smaller.
I've done the research. Let me tell you. Because I'm like, I need to know.
They massive.
Yeah, they did. They did. Let me tell you. In the 1990s in New Zealand, boxed Easter eggs, particularly the iconic Cadbury range, were generally larger and more substantial than the plastic packaged alternatives commonly sold today, with many standard eggs often tipping the scales at around 400 grams or more.
Wow.
So I think the ones today were like, they're sub 150.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because I remember being like, oh, like when you'd get a big one, it was, it took you a while. It was a really, you had to commit to it, because it took a long time.
And do you remember that first bite where you're getting the top of the egg and you're like, kind of sort of sick your teeth into it, like,
yeah.
like with a...
like a beaver, eh? You got to like kind of figure out how to pick at it for a while.
Like it's sort of using your front teeth like a pickaxe.
And I think we've all been there when we were like trying to show off and we would try to break it with our foreheads. Did you do that? Like trying to show off, be like, guys, check it out. And then you smash it on your forehead and it doesn't break. And you're just like,
And like how thick that chocolate used to be at either end, particularly the pointy end.
You've really brought back memories now because they were quite something in the 90s. They're shit now.
Yeah, they're shit now.
They're shit.
And
you can't even there's not many big ones to choose from, I find.
No,
because remember they used to be like all different flavors. There'd be like a snifter one or there'd be a Japper one.
There be a snifter one.
But now there's not that many and they're just shit.
Yeah, they are. And I remember so back in the day that there were ones that were up to 1 kilo. I think they were.
And I remember breaking off the chocolate and you're right, it was thick.
Whereas these ones are just a thin.
And now you could
shell.
essentially you could squeeze it and it would just disintegrate.
And then the marshmallow eggs. It says these were a fixture, often sold in packs. A twin lobe marshmallow chocolate egg was standard, often compared to the size of a fresh egg. Remember those ones? Because now they're just in the halves. But remember before they had the two halves stuck together. So biting, you bite through the first thin shell, through the marshmallow.
Texture, and then getting the chocolate in between. The texture of that.
Yeah. And then there was quite a bite through the chocolate in between.
And you have to sort of rip it off.
A bit of this sort of sense of the marshmallow crystallizing against the center part between the two lobes, as we now know they're called.
They were a good time, weren't they? They were a really good time. I remember the marshmallow ones being mum's little treat. She'd be like, oh, I might just have a little one of those. You know how mums are at Easter, especially 90s mums who are constantly on a diet and constantly sort of watching their weight or whatever. It would be like this big deal to be like, I might just, have a little, maybe I'll have a little bit of marshmallow egg. Naughty. It is Easter, I guess, isn't it?
Well, God. And now, when we did the Easter egg hunt for the kids, they all went for a hunt for their big eggs. And my sister did cryptic clues, which were very good.
So fun.
And we try and really make them work for it while we sit inside and drink tea. And then they do a second round where they go and just have to hunt for small eggs that we've planted everywhere. Now we did get one big egg, but we didn't get the small eggs like they do now. And there were so many. They are rich. Obscenely rich in eggs.
we used to have a thing where we'd wake up in the morning and there'd be a trail of little eggs from the end of our bed. And so then we'd follow the trail of little eggs with our little basket, putting them in the basket. And then we would then get to the display of big eggs at the end. That's how we did. We never did Easter egg hunts growing up, which I'm kind of sad. I always feel like I missed out on that.
The cryptic clues are good. I remember one year Mum tied a ball of string, and then we had to follow the string for miles. We're on farms. I was like, probably as far as a string would go. But it eventually led to a trampoline. And we got a new trampoline
for Easter.
I don't know if it was new, but it was a trampoline.
Wow. That's quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was fun.
Because now, you kind of see on
I was happy and sad, Matty.
Yeah, because you're like, where's the eggs?
On one hand, trampoline, amazing, and we got a lot of use out of that trampoline. But then I was like, wouldn't mind a bit of chocolate to go with the trampoline.
Thanks, Mum, for the trampoline, but actually what I really wanted was a chocolate egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen on Instagram that Easter baskets are becoming a thing with influencers in the States or whatever. So their kids get this whole Easter basket of gifts. And it's so many gifts. And I didn't think Easter was a gift given, apart from Easter eggs. I didn't think it was a gift holiday.
It's not.
But it seems like it's turning into that now too. It's like, oh, fuck's sake. Do we have to go and be getting presents as well? I mean, no, we don't, because I refuse, but
no, I refuse. It's not it's not. Eggs and bunnies. Apparently the bunnies was maybe more, no, I won't have this right, so don't. Please do your own fact checking. It was more like a sort of pagan type thing, because it was timed at the time of the madness of the March hare. Right. So in Europe, when it's becoming springtime, all the hares go crazy
just because
in March.
They're so excited.
They're so excited. It's also that's time to mate.
Oh,
so
okay.
The Mad March hare is because they're all running around, and so that's I think apparently where the Easter bunny came from, and then the egg I think was more God, I'm talking with conviction. Please don't mistake that for fact.
That wasn't the egg then. Jesus rising.
Yes, so it was combined. The Christianity and the paganism.
I see.
Combined.
And now we're just chocolate.
Eggs.
Yeah,
bunnies carrying chocolate eggs.
But it is I try and at least tell the kids what it is about. Because I think, well, shit, we're celebrating Christmas, we're celebrating Easter. They may as well understand what it's like. We're not a religious family. I do dabble, but I always want to tell them. But the Easter one's gnarly, isn't it? It is gnarly.
It's tricky. Oh yes,
it's really, I think we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this last year, I think. And it's okay, well, what happened was, his hands and feet got nailed onto a cross and he was hanging there. And the kids always ask questions. They're like, okay, so did he die? I'm like, yeah, he did. Yeah. But it's okay because
he rose again. So, and now
he ended up coming back to life. So now we're going to have some chocolate eggs. Okay.
Yeah. So one, two, skip a few. Have some chocolate eggs.
But it's a horrific story, isn't it?
It really is.
I sometimes take Penny to this music class at a church, sometimes locally. It's one of the baby classes. She loves it. And it's at a church, obviously. So it is there are themes.
Yes, there's Christian dabblement going
Christian
on.
Themes, which is fine. I like I said, I'm half in, I'm half out. I'm kind of in it. But it is quite jarring as someone who didn't really grow up in that environment when they're and the exciting thing about Easter is that Jesus died for our sins, and I'm how do I explain that to children? And they're like, Jesus died for our sins. What a wonderful thing. Isn't that amazing? And I'm like, yeah, okay,
'Cause you
I'm with you, but I am just like, how do I get that across to a 6, 4, and a
I don't know.
2-year-old?
I think you maybe take it from a different angle. He
I
was
think I
a
focus
great
on the like he was wonderful
he was a
and
great teacher,
he was a great teacher. He loved
shared
everyone, gave to
wisdom.
everyone. And so like I kind of tried to explain it like some people believe that he was this amazing person, and so they want to live their life more like that person because they're so inspired by him and how like wonderful and kind and giving he was. And so that's just kind of where I leave it.
Yeah,
Because I think when
rather
we get
than
into sins, it just gets a bit tricky. I don't know. Like that's outside of my wheelhouse. That's not my vibe.
and because it's like we don't want to be instilling guilt.
Let's not
You,
shame.
you
I
know,
don't want to
like
be shamey.
no,
Yeah.
no. I think you can take a different angle. I think that's
I
good.
think so too. I think we can take some and leave some.
Yeah. Well, we'll wrap up the Easter chat because
The
I always
Easter.
remember, like, when we got sent off to Sunday school, which really I think was just available babysitting, and just not having spent a lot of time in churches, always been quite confronted seeing Jesus on the cross.
I know.
Being like,
and there's always blood
this is a
dripping off him.
This is a lot, isn't it, folks? And we just.
It is a lot.
You've got no context for it. Anyway, on a less scandalous note, let me tell you that Cadbury cream eggs produced locally in New Zealand during the 90s were 40 grams before production moved and the size dropped to 39 grams.
40 to 39.
Yeah, so less.
Doesn't seem like a big drop, does it?
Yeah, less of a drop there. So anyway. But I think the recipe is different. And the old New Zealand made Cadbury chocolate made in Dunedin cannot be beaten.
No, it can't.
And that
Sometimes I do
days.
feel like I look back at the 90s with rose-tinted glasses, though, when I'm just like, things were perfect, weren't they? Without smartphones, without XYZ. God, what a life. But then I think, well, when we were living in the 90s, there would have been stuff that we complained about all the time.
But or weren't aware of.
Well, I think that's the key because I was 7. So, there's plenty you're not aware of. I do remember SARS. No, was it anthrax? What year was the...
I think it was bird flu, anthrax, SARS. What was it?
There were some concerns around powder being in envelopes all the time.
Anthrax.
That's anthrax, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. I do remember that being a bit of an issue in the 90s.
Yeah, probably not a massive issue here.
Well, I think we had a lot of copycats, didn't we? Like we had a lot of So we had a lot of people receiving powder in a letter or something, but then it being just washing powder or like baking soda. It was so I think we had quite a lot of that happening. Anyway, so maybe it wasn't that great. Oh, it was good. I don't know. I can't.
Well, look, but it was good being it. Like the thing is, I've got a headache. We enjoyed being kids in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I think like just the fact of childhood being at a time you didn't have big concerns. There was space in your life. I remember lying down with nothing else to do,
It was it just felt quite simple, don't you think?
Yeah.
It felt it didn't feel like parents were that stressed about childhood. But maybe
we also don't
maybe
know.
That's just because I was a child. But I don't remember in my family, I don't remember my parents being overly concerned with anything childhood related. It was just like, go to local school, bye. Have a birthday party, whatever.
Yeah, quite a lot of freedom. And I did get myself into all kinds of mischief and trouble. But we'll save that for another day. Matty, we'll be dying to know, you had a concern when we talked last about the PTA slip-up.
The posters.
Did you sneak around in the night, covertly putting posters around the school?
So what happened, if you missed the last episode where I mentioned this, I've joined the PTA and I had one job, and my job, well, actually I've got quite a few jobs, but this task, I should say, involved designing a poster for the school disco, which, can I say, absolutely nailed. Anyway, the next part of it was that I had to stick the posters up around the school. I had to do it by a certain day because then some of the school was going on camp. So I wanted to do it before they went on camp. Did I get there? No, I did not. I missed the deadline for the posters, and I could feel that I had disappointed my fellow PTA members. So I was like, right, I need to make this right. And then I was running out of time, and I thought the only time I'm going to be able to do this is like after the kids go to bed. I'm going to have to sniff around the school in the dead of night, putting up these posters. Anyway, long story short, I made a plan that I would do it after school one day. So kids went to the playground, was there. I had my little clear file with all my printed off posters and a stick of blue tack. And I went to town because I thought, well, they have to be on the inside of the glass, don't they? Like they've got to be on the inside of the doors. That was the issue. So I had to do it when there were people there. So anyway, I went into all the classrooms, was like, hello, my name's Matilda. I'm from the PTA. Do you mind if I put these posters on your door? And they were all like, sure. And so I got it done. The only one I didn't get to was the library because they had closed for the day. But everywhere else, all the other classrooms, I got there.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Mission complete.
But I felt quite cool being sort of in the school after school hours. You know, I was like just like with the teachers after school. There's just something about it feels like I'm not allowed to be there because if I had crossed some sort of barrier, because like sometimes I would go into a room and the teachers were just like talking to each other about the day. I was like, sorry to interrupt. What are you guys talking about?
Let me in.
What are we gossiping about? But yes, I completed the task. I'm proud. I'm happy with the design. They're all up at the school and life is good. So
thank God.
We're okay. I think I've redeemed myself. I was late, but I got there.
Okay. All right. Well, good. Congratulations. I'm thrilled that it's been done.
Thank you.
Until the next task.
Yeah. Well, that's where the proof will be in the pudding, basically.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of pudding, just quickly.
Yes.
Last night I was having a bath with little Penny, and it was just the two of us in the bath, and it was so sweet. We were just chatting away, chat. And then she pointed to my nipple, and she goes, "What that?" And I said, "That's my nipple." And then I was telling her the story about how when you guys were all babies, when you were born, you and Milo and Woody, this is how you got milk. And she goes, "A day." And then a day. And then she pointed to them again and goes, "Wobbly." And I was like, "Well, they're not. I wouldn't call them wobbly." She was like, "Wobbly nipple." And then we got out of the bath and I got dressed and she went up to Art and goes, "Daddy, wobbly nipple, mummy." I was like, "No, I don't. No, I don't have wobbly nipples, and even if I did, we don't need to be broadcasting it around the house, okay?" So now I've got a complex about it. It's like, God, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean wobbly? Is it the breast or the nipple? What's going on here?
I think she's been quite clear.
I think so too. I think she was really descriptive.
Wobbly nipple.
Yeah.
You know?
Wobbly nipple. Daddy, wobbly nipple, mummy. So
I'll never forget when like Frankie was quite little and I had to go to an awards ceremony years ago, and I needed to get a dress, didn't have anything to wear, and I took little Frankie with me to the shop, and I was in the changing room, and when you're not wearing a bra and you bend over and then you look down at your boobs and it's just these sort of very sad
cones,
pointy cones.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh. And then her little hand just came up with a wee cupping motion and just like cupped one of the sad pointy cones. So humbling.
Yeah.
Real
It's like,
humbling.
yeah, it does. It needs to be pushed back up, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's not where it started. It's really not in its original condition, let me tell you. We had some people write in about like things that feel embarrassing that shouldn't, and their icks. One of the things that and we've had someone with a little bit of a sexy text fail, so that's great. Thank you everybody for writing in and sending things in, because this is just so much fun when things arrive.
It brings me so much joy. It really does.
So much joy. Okay, where are we going to start? All right, things that feel embarrassing you shouldn't. One of us got checking your mailbox, but it's empty.
Oh, that is embarrassing, isn't it? Because you're like, oh, I really should, just make sure there's no. Oh no, okay, no, there's no tasks. Yep, there's
Nothing at all.
not
Nothing at
one
all.
thing. Okay.
And the thing is, they most often are empty now because we don't receive a lot of like post anymore.
No.
But I check it every day.
Yeah.
And
Same.
now I'm like, well, that is a bit embarrassing. I'm not taking anything out of there. I also think things that feel embarrassing, but actually are a bit embarrassing when you trip over on flat ground. You're just walking along and then the ball of your foot just like catches absolutely nothing. And then you sort of stumble a few steps and then you can't help it. Everyone does it. You look behind you and you're like, oh, who put
what
that
was that?
flat ground there? That's a hazard.
Because you instantly want to blame something, don't you? Like, you want to be able to be like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. It wasn't me not being able to walk.
No.
Oh, God. Yes. So that was things that feel embarrassing. And then we've got a voice note. Little hold music. Where is it? Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. Okay,
hold on.
Thank you. We made it.
Oh, good.
So sorry.
I'm just about to get into the classic, like that hold music that seems to be in a lot of places. And it's, how do I even explain it? There's a lot of like reverb, like, Don't worry.
I've got nothing. But next time I hear it.
Okay, I'll try and find an example of it. Anyway, okay, we don't need the hold music. We can move forward.
Okay.
Hey girls, I'm enjoying your latest podcast as always. Listening to the icks. Oh, I think you should let the guy with the scooter off, considering the current fuel crisis. But I do get
True.
You know, if you're in a hurry, it's quicker than walking. Saves fuel. But anyway, my biggest ick would have to be guys who tuck their ears into their caps. Something about it, no matter how hot they are, just gives me the ick every time. Why would you do it? Just get a hat that fits your head. But anyway, maybe it's just me. I don't know. But every time I just think, ick.
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be there.
They're not supposed to be tucked in. They're supposed to be out. If you need to tuck your ears in, you're right. You're wearing the wrong hat.
You're wearing the wrong size hat.
Yeah, you're wearing the wrong size hat. Or it's just, it's too low. I have this cap that I love so much, but it is quite a deep cap. So like it fits the circumference of my head, but it goes quite far down. So sometimes I'm like, do I have to tuck my ears in? Because it sort of bends them, like it kind of bends them forward a bit.
Oh, then you've got to make a choice, in or out, in or out, in or out.
In or out. I always choose out, but I am tempted to just tuck them in. I don't think I should.
I don't think I should. Her made me think about when. Oh God, I'm sorry to like the 6 or 8% of men that listen to this, but I'm sure you wouldn't do any of these things. But it really shits me, and I've never seen a woman do this, to be fair, when men prop their sunglasses, like they don't want them on their eyes, and instead of putting them on the top of their head, they put them on their forehead. They just prop them up above their eyebrows, or they put them behind their neck.
No.
Oh my God, I hate it so much.
Yeah.
It's so gross. I don't know.
I actually think, and bless men, I mean, they just can't do a thing right with us, can they? But when they even when they prop it on the top of their head, I think foul. There's just like something about men doing that I'm like, just take it off. Just take it off.
So they've got nowhere to put their sunglasses.
No, they don't. No, they have to hold them in their hand.
Or put them just on their eyes.
Yeah, and they might put them down somewhere, but sorry, so be it. That's the price you have to pay.
Matty, if we saw a man walking around holding his sunglasses in their hands, like we would complain about that as well.
Yeah, that'd be a nick too. Actually, do you know what? You're not allowed sunglasses.
If you're not going to wear them on your eye, just throw them in the bin. There's nowhere safe to put them. And they're probably the wrong sunglasses anyway.
These poor men. You're just like, can we just live
Stop
our
being
lives?
mean. Okay. This one was in response to my pharmacy announcements that I made.
Diarrhea.
I just want my bowels to explode. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know that's all my results came back normal.
okay.
Everything came back
What
normal.
was
It seems to
causing
resolve it itself. But what I have noticed was that the pain was coming like when I was having coffee first thing in the morning. And I was like, well, that means my doctor was like, well, if none of the tests come back, it could be a stomach ulcer, it could be gallstones. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't like the sound of either of those things. Anyway, it was hurting like when I was having coffee first thing in the morning. So I've switched to English breakfast tea, seems to be fine. So I'm just having some time off coffee. And I was like, well, it's a good idea to have some time off coffee anyway.
It is a really good idea because, I mean, as we spoke to Dr. Libby, if you're not stressed and if you're having a cup of coffee just for pure enjoyment, and you're just like,
you're genuinely a relaxed person.
You're relaxed.
Not too much stress.
You can handle a little cup of coffee.
Yeah, and I think she knows that's none of us.
No. If you're stressy don't be having a coffee in the morning.
I mean, if I'm throwing the ashwagandha around the kitchen, I probably should take some time off coffee.
I think so. How are you feeling being off the coffee, by the way?
I'm actually all right, but I'm having like one cup of tea a day. Or like a matcha or something like that. So I'm not completely off the caffeine, but I have significantly reduced the caffeine.
Okay.
So I might have some days without it.
Well, I think that's a good way to do it though, because then you're weaning, aren't you? You're weaning yourself off.
I haven't had the headaches.
Isn't matcha slow release caffeine?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like I read that somewhere.
Yeah. It's like it's not as strong. So anyway, I feel so pure, like not having a coffee, just have a tea.
And an ashwagandha.
Oh, with my ashwagandha. Well, actually, I'm having the wonderful bone products, BHONE, that we love. And we love them very much because they also did kindly send us some. But I have to say, like, massive shout out because it's like women's beauty supplement. You've got, what I love is the efficiency. You've got your protein, you've got your collagen, you've got your vitamin C, and you've got your probiotics all in one. Incredible flavors, hot or cold.
We don't have time for different things. We don't have time for it. Sorry.
So I've replaced one of my coffees with one of those, with a hot one of those. I otherwise have it in smoothies, and I then I put in my ashwagandha, and ashwagandha, and a little bit of that like mushroom powder. Not psilocybin, the other one, the less fun one.
It was psilocybin.
No, woo! Yeah. So and I feel purer than freshly driven snow, let me tell you. And I feel like I'm doing something good for myself. So anyway,
good for you.
There we are.
I reckon if I didn't live without Green, I wouldn't drink coffee. But he is such an enabler with coffee.
But he makes you both do. Yeah. Make a really, really good cup of coffee.
And like he makes me a coffee every morning and it's always just such a great coffee and I look forward to it. But I've tried to quit coffee so many times, Bean, but he is an enabler. Like he'll be like, do you want a coffee this morning? I'm like, no. And he goes, you sure? You sure?
You're not really sure?
I can make you one. I can make you one right now. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I should just have a little weak one. He goes, yeah. He just can't. He can't have me not drinking coffee. It's the most annoying thing. And I'm like trying to get off it, but I can't because he makes such a good coffee and he makes it for me. And he just like.
You're having 1 week one. It's okay.
It's okay, isn't it, to have 1 week one? It's crept into two. It's crept into 2 week ones, which I think is one strong one. So maybe that's okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Do you know, there's something about today that I've got a bit of a headache and I'm obviously doing the podcast from the bed. And I just am getting lower and lower. And very soon I think I'll close my eyes.
Okay.
Because I'm just feeling really like my whole body's deflating.
Oh, you need a rest.
I know. So I'm like, maybe I'll just close my eyes. I'll wait until the end of the podcast, shall I?
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great if you wouldn't mind. That'd be great. Okay, I've got this wonderful message from our anonymous listener. Loved your recent pod on going to the pharmacy. I had a bit of an experience recently where, let's say, I provide healthcare at a facility where there is known scabies. I didn't have it, but my neurosis was flowing, and every tingle, I convinced myself I was infested. My husband wanted me to just get the cream, so I'd shut up about it, basically. So I sheepishly took myself off to the small town pharmacy and asked to speak to the 12-year-old pharmacist and explain the situation.
Look, I've got potential scabies, okay?
It's not me. I definitely don't have it, but, He said, yes, follow me over to the bloody scabies lotions, and proceeded to basically yell, "Excuse me, Susan," his colleague talking to a customer. "Just reaching the scabies lotion behind you there."
Oh, for God's sake.
Then handed me the package with the picture of the hugest bloody fomite on it to join the line for sales, where basically everyone thought I probably had scabies. Needless to say, one application cured my neuroses and non-existent scabies. Live, laugh, love.
Oh, live, laugh, love indeed. Okay. Oh, God, she's around scabies infections. Scabies, is that I always get confused between scabies and scurvy.
Yes, scurvy is the lack of vitamin C.
Okay, so that's what your sailors.
Yeah,
that's what your sailors got. Wasn't there something about some kids recently getting scurvy?
Really?
I feel like I read something. Yeah. Oh my God, it's real sad. Here's the article. A 5-year-old autistic boy who lived on a diet of chicken and biscuits has been diagnosed with scurvy.
Oh.
I know. Yeah, a disease normally associated with round-the-world sailors who lacked fruit and vegetables hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that so sad?
Yeah, it's really sad, but it's tricky with autistic kids because sometimes they have food issues around food. So that's a real tricky one to manage.
Real tricky. He was brought to an orthopedic clinic after his parents noted significant discomfort, reduced motion of his legs, and progressive non-weight-bearing status from the scurvy. Poor little dude.
Yeah.
I know, crazy, eh?
Yeah.
So anyway, where were we at? Scabies.
Scabies.
So it's funny, Bean. Again, I have a house full of tradies. We've got Sparkies, we've got plumbers, we've got tilers all here today.
Fantastic.
And so I've barricaded myself in the spare room, but it's not soundproof.
No.
And there is our Sparky, bless her, she's absolutely wonderful, working right outside the door. So she'll just be hearing me being like, so scabies, diarrhea.
Scabies, wobbly nipples, and diarrhea, and that's the title of the show.
Scabies, wobbly nipples, and diarrhea. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So she'll be like, I don't know what her podcast is about. I'm not sure if it's like a medical diagnosis podcast or
where people send in their issues and then they just diagnose them.
Because she can only hear me as well. She won't be able to hear you. So it'll just be me talking to myself like we've got Tourette's.
What a mystery.
I know. What a mystery. What a mystery indeed. Speaking of mysteries, God, what a ride this podcast has been. We've really taken some turns. We've taken some turns. I had a real panic this morning because I was looking for, do you know what? I'm not going to tell the story. It's shit. No, it's shit.
Matty. So we'll just finish on scabies then. All right.
All right. Well, that's a podcast, isn't it? That's a podcast.
With that. Oh my God, no, we do have a good one. We've got a good finisher. Apart from for this poor listener, it didn't end up being a finisher. And so the subject line is sexy texts. About as successful as the first voyage of the Titanic this was. Dear listener says, "Hey ladies, as always enjoyed your pod this week and had a wee giggle as I too, like Matilda, appreciate a sexy text during the day from my hubby." Hey, we all do. We all do.
Don't we all?
We bloody do. Except we have been busted. My husband was away for work and we talked about having video phone sex one night for fun.
Oh my God, saucy.
Love it. I was driving home with my 3 kids, aged 6, 8 and 3, and my phone was Bluetooth to the car. A text from my husband pinged in and my 8-year-old hits the button on the screen to have Siri read out the message.
Oh my God.
Siri
oh my
says,
God.
"I can't wait to see you touch yourself tonight."
Oh my God. Oh my God.
She says, "Oh God, I think this is now anything but sexy and my 8-year-old wants to know what it means." I managed to fudge my way through it. Then my daughter asks if I'm going to reply.
Oh my God. She's like, I think you should say this, Mummy.
What are you going to say?
Oh my God. And years later, her 8-year-old will be 25 and just out for a walk, and then they'll go,
Oh,
it'll hit them. It'll hit them. And they'll be like, hold on a minute.
Just speed dialing their therapist. She says, my husband and I had a good laugh about it later, but it sadly was the end of sexy day texts and the video phone sex didn't happen.
Oh no.
No.
What a mood killer. Because it is like bloody Siri, CarPlay. It's
tricky.
Unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
So,
and especially if there's a voice note coming in and you're just not 100% sure what loosey-goosey words are going to be dropped.
Exactly. You've got to be careful. I think I suggested she went to a different platform for the sexy texts. So then that was a platform that didn't play out or didn't notify in the car. And as a platform that you can have like a Face ID for, just as an idea.
That's good. Or maybe, like if there's going to be a sexy text, it could come up in like Facebook Messenger or something. And then you know, okay, I'm not going to click on that to play it because that's going to be a bit saucy.
Yeah.
Oh, good for them doing.
Yeah, I love it.
Video.
Love Alive.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, love your work.
Yeah.
Love your work. So there we go. Well, I think we've saved it from scabies. So.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey, well, great stuff. I think that's us. I think that's us for the week.
Now go and not make eye contact with your electrician who's just out the door.
They've seen and heard some shit since I've been working in this house, I swear to God. And when you've got tradies in your house like all the time and you really want your kids to just be absolute perfection, you're like, don't put a foot wrong because we want people to think I've got perfect kids,
How's that going?
It's been all right, but we have had a couple of moments where it's all kicked off and there's been a bit of fighting. And some of the tradies that don't have kids have been a bit shocked. I can tell. They're sort of like, oh my God. It's like, yeah, well, it's normal, all right?
Okay.
Sometimes we kick off and it gets a bit physical, but that's all right. The kids are fine. They might just like give each other a little shove and a bit of a donk on the arm or something. It's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah,
all right, Matty. Well, hey, you you can just slip into sweet.
I might just sort of like
sliding down.
Just close my eyes for a bit. I'm just all of a sudden really zonked, so I might just close my eyes.
Well, sweet dreams. And sweet dreams, everybody out there. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Let me tell you.
Don't let the scurvy bugs bite. And we'll see.
Have an orange. Take it to bed.
Keep your vitamin C up.
Don't let anyone else touch it.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. And don't forget to send us more of these DMs that we can share on the pod because we absolutely thrive off them.
Oh my God, we love it. On any problems that you have that we're not qualified to resolve for you, but we'd love a bash at making some bad suggestions.
Yep, totally. We'll just make you more confused with more questions rather than answers, but we'll try our best.
Yes. Thank you and good night.
Okay. Bye, Bean.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Untidy. If you enjoyed it, we'd love your support to keep making the show. The best thing you can do to help is subscribe by hitting follow in your podcast app and leaving us a little 5-star review. You can also now watch and subscribe on YouTube and check out how these millennials are keeping up with the cool kids on TikTok and the gram. Lastly, please share this podcast with your mates. It means that we can keep building this supportive community, keep giving you untidy episodes, and just keep doing what we love to do.
Don't forget to check out mybigmoments.com for kids' books that make your tricky job of parenting a whole lot easier. Untidy listeners get a discount at checkout, so just pop in Untidy for 10% off your order. Lastly, we would like to thank all of the good people who make this podcast possible. Flicker Williams and Joe Rocker at My Big Moments for the beautiful artwork and design, Maxine London Creative for editing this episode, and Lana Byrne for creating our social content. And to you, our listeners, Araha nui, take care. We'll see you soon.